when you observe and take pleasure in and acknowledge the earth, the body of the earth, when you're grounding, it's a relationship that you are reconnecting with. You're in these actions. This is an expression of gratitude. Ecstasy is an expression of gratitude. Orgasm should be an expression of gratitude, right? It is the active participation in reciprocity with our mother, reconnecting with this energy that is ever present, that gives us life in a myriad of ways, whether we acknowledge it or not, right? Happiness is an expression, should be an expression of a harmonious relationship with the body of the mother, right? And so these are the ways that we have to see what prayer is. I think I posted a picture a few days ago that had two different pictures of the same woman. It was split in half. One picture of the woman had her on her knees looking at a flower that was dying. She's on her knees with her hands clasped, praying, grow, 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 right? The other picture of her, and then that picture was called religion, right? Grow, grow, grow. The other picture was called spirituality, and it was her in this picture standing upright, saying thank you for growing, while she's pouring water on the flower and the sun is shining from above, and she's actively engaged in the cyclical process that ensures growth. She ain't got to have faith that it's going to grow. She ain't got to hope that it's going to grow, like the picture of religion. She got to pray. She ain't got to hope. She ain't got to have faith. That all she got to do is close her eyes and say, please, and please, and please, and please, and maybe the flower will grow. She just got to have faith that the flower will grow. She just got to have hope that the flower will grow. No, because science informs her in her genetic material, the very real elements necessary to ensure a desired outcome, which is the healthy growth of this flower. Her participation in the cyclical process is the prayer. Her participation is the prayer. Her participation is what guarantees the outcome, which is a healthfully, beautiful, growing flower. She don't have hope, and faith is not required in this scenario at all. Because why is hope and faith not required? Because certainty is in the pot. Certainty is in the mix. Why certainty? Because science informs her of certainty of the outcome. Science informs her of the certainty of the outcome. And who is the master of science? The oldest among us. Because what we call conjecture, or what we call, quote, tradition, or what we call, any name that we give to that shit, if we know that observation and participation is what yields certainty, you do not need faith. You do not need hope. You cannot be swayed by rhetoric, because science informs us of a definite outcome. A definitive outcome. That's the scientific method. So here we are, quote, religious people, not understanding the scientific method of those elements necessary to create a certain and desired outcome, can go to these motherfucking polls every 4 years. And even though we recognize historically that the gains that we have, quote, achieved through the voting process, countered with the losses that have come as a consequence of the electoral process, that the gains do not even come close to the losses. And every year we complain about them. And every year we can count down the list of losses versus gains from one president to the next, from one Senate to the next, from one House of Representatives to the next, from one Supreme Court justice to the next. And the gains never even come close to the losses, yet we still pile the fuck up in these goddamn voting polls, certain, because that's where faith, that's the role that religion plays, is having you bound by two chains with balls on the end. One is faith, one is hope, that a certain number of times And we're going to have a eureka moment, even though the science, the historical science, has taught us the myriad of ways which we have lost, way more than we have gained. We still do the shit that woman was doing in the picture, where she on her knees praying that the flower will grow. That's what hope and prayer does to you. It makes you ignore science. It makes you ignore the scientific method. It makes you ignore the process of ensuring a certain result, ensuring through observation and participation a different and desired outcome that functions in your favor. That's what that does, you see. So spirituality is the fully embodied, holistic use of all of those elements that make her certain in this other picture that all she has to do is bask in this glowing sun and take in the environment around her and pour the water. And she knows that she is not a single entity in that picture, that everything is an expression of this embodied whole that is going to guarantee the desired outcome, which is a beautiful, flourishing flower that grows. This is the dance that we must do between spirit and science.